I want to stay on that news out of Computex and Taiwan and bring in Michelle Giuda. She's the CEO of the Krach Institute for Tech Diplomacy at Purdue. She's also served as Assistant Secretary of State for Global Public Affairs under the first Trump administration between 2018 and 2020. For me, away from the technology news, the absolute key piece of importance was Jensen Huang talking about his relationship with Taiwan and NVIDIA's relationship with Taiwan. The basic plan is to build a supercomputer for Taiwan, but he was kind of at pains to point out that this is in partnership with TSMC and other leading names that are Taiwanese champions. Purely from a geopolitical perspective, how crucial was that, or how high level was that for Jensen Huang to say such a thing?
It's very important, and NVIDIA, with Jensen Huang at the helm, has been on quite the tech diplomacy tour, the chip diplomacy tour, really over the past few days and the past week, including in Taiwan, as you referenced, where they're talking about building a supercomputer. Taiwan is a very strategic partner, a trusted partner of the United States. It's very important for our shared security, and that's right off the heels of some major deals announced in the Gulf over the weekend and late last week with Saudi Arabia, with the UAE, who also want to be global capitals when it comes to artificial intelligence. And there's going to be more sharing of advanced chips there. So all of that is really important as the United States seeks to secure trusted partnerships with important partners across the globe when it comes to advanced semiconductors.
Michelle, those deals with Gulf nations, how concerned are you that they can act as sort of backdoor indirect access for China to U.S. technology?
It's definitely a concern among some in the U.S. government, including in Congress. But I'll say the big picture is we have to do two things. One is maximum proliferation of American technology, including our semiconductors, because if it's not our technology, it's going to be our adversaries' technology like China. So max proliferation is really important. At the same time, we also have to have maximum security controls to make sure that those technologies, including chips, don't get diverted toward adversaries like China. Those two things have to happen. It can be done, but it requires that companies and the U.S. government and our allies, by the way, work really closely together. And that's what tech diplomacy is all about. And I think you see the White House, the Commerce Department, as well as leaders in Congress with the new Chip Security Act, making sure that those security controls are in place.
Jensen Huang's tech diplomacy, I think, is worth lingering on. Taiwan is clearly important to NVIDIA, and we remind ourselves that the mainstay of TSMC's lead-edge fabrication is in Taiwan. But China is also important to Jensen Huang, whether that market is closed to him or not. Is he getting the balance right?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because on this tech diplomacy tour, there were the deals announced in the Gulf. There's the news in Taiwan today. But let's also not forget that he announced a new research center in Shanghai just a few days ago. And it's no coincidence that all of these things are happening in the same time. And look, he's got a global business to run. He definitely has multiple interests that he's trying to meet. What we have to make sure from the U.S. national security standpoint is that all of that doesn't endanger American national security and give some of our most advanced technologies to China. So the role that he plays in working together with our government, we have to make sure that business objectives meet national security objectives, and it can be done, but we have to be working together in order to do it.
In January of this year, Anduril's co-founder, Palmer Luckey, told me point blank that they are preparing for a scenario where China invades Taiwan at some point in the coming years. It is one severe outcome. Take that argument and extrapolate it out to AI infrastructure and semiconductor manufacturing and Taiwan's role in everything that we've just discussed.
Well, it's a reason that we have to make sure Taiwan's resilience and the U.S. resilience when it comes to these critical sectors like semiconductors is really strong. And so partnerships like with NVIDIA, TSMC is investing another $100 billion here in the United States to build out its fabs, to build out advanced packaging facilities. All of that has to scale so that we have some more strategic partners. And it's also with other allies like Japan, like Korea. SK Hynix is investing in an advanced manufacturing facility for semiconductors at Purdue Research Park, where the Krach Institute is. All of that has to happen more deeply and at scale in order to make sure our shared resilience and security, because we have to be prepared for a scenario like that. But rather than just try to slow China down, we have to make sure that we are turbocharging our own supply chains, our own resilience, and our collaboration with our allies.
Michelle Giuda, CEO of the Krach Institute for Tech Diplomacy at Purdue, thank you very much.